answer is immediately followed by sarcastic comments and nasty responses.
Yep, we're finally where we belong.
And don't think we don't know how to weed them out.
Put a ticket in, make her gay. Put a ticket in, make her name it gay.
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
That's all, brother. I had it.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part, too.
It's very good. Well, if you can't get out of it, get into it.
Welcome to Inside the Badger Den with the Angry Badger and Mr.Techrat. Welcome. Starting off strong. Thank you, Lod. Glad you could make it. I know a lot of times you have to go. So shout out. Thank you for the one gifty. Shout out, Daxnar. Woo. Good. Love to see any of you. I know Hypno. Good to see you, brother. Impressive. What were we saying? 60 days in a row without a break. Rat, you've had a break, right? You haven't gone 60 days in a row, have you? Are you there? Are you muted?
No. Well, I was debating making a celibacy joke.
You got a lot longer than that for a break. Yeah, it's all right. Not the type of achievement we all want to get. But you're
actually, no, it's funny. I just saw a thing. What's his name? Lenny Kravitz said he's gone like, I don't know, 6 years, and he's called it a spiritual awakening.
You might start floating like the Buddha then at this point.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I am fantastic. We had a great week. A great week. Just when you think things can't get more interesting, they do. In every way you could take that. My Life in Asia. How'd it go? Oh, shout out Idaho Mike on the other account, trying to get more traction on this one. Hey, well, you know what? Everyone give him all the traction. Giggity. Yeah, I don't know where to start, except in the beginning. We were straight and on time. This time we were heteronormative and straight, but I want you to know for the entire month of June, we will be very late and very gay. The degree of which to be determined. Depends on how zesty the Rat and I are feeling every show. But to celebrate Pride Month, we will be very late and gay. Very late.
I might even change my my pronouns. I might throw
not sure. I'm not sure if you could tell by his last name, but he's half tiny hat. He's half tiny hat. Would not say the word "you" for AI purpose. Yeah. All right. What do you think? Should we start off the shit show that was the week?
I mean, was it a shit show? Oh, wait. Yeah, go for it.
It depends on your view. I'm 90% sure we live in a simulation, even though we can't do anything about it. So I most of the time have, even though my name is Angry and I'm ill-tempered, mild bemusement at most things, because it's like, all right, you know, if you can't get out of it, get into it. You know, we got that whole vibe going. So no, it wasn't a shit show from that perspective, but as like, you know, irreparable harm might have been done to our country and or pop culture continued to be destroyed. Sure, it's a shit show from that point. But again, I just go back to laughing at everything, because if you can't laugh, you're crying. So going back, we got this first look. First, shout out to Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League for being the first big pop that made everyone aware of Sweet Baby Inc. and their influence. And that's where we got this. Here, let's see. Things happening. We totally don't live in a banana republic. And Tim Pool Civil War quote. Yeah, shout out to Jeremy, just like streaming over Geeks and Gamers in the morning. It showed up halfway through. I not only respect the grift, it's where I learned it. From Jeremy. Yeah, no, and I'm still waiting it. It's highly discounted on Game Pass right now. I'm waiting. I wasn't going to play it before, but now out of real morbid curiosity, I mean, their numbers never go above 500, so we'll see what happens.
Us playing it just for that curiosity is not going to boost it.
Again, multiple curiosities with why they went with, because I can get that they went with a female Rule 34 gender swapped freeze. But the fact that they went with the trans Asian version, man chest, it speaks volumes. Not even the Crush Me Mommy versions, just the on a list somewhere versions.
You want to talk about current weird searches on Instagram? Yeah. No, it's weird, man. And the Joker was a bad start, and this is just an awkward turn. I can't wait to see what's next.
The Joker was a great start for me. The legendarily produced this clip.
Hello, Batman. I'm non-binary now.
And I would like to say that, is it gender swapped? What the fuck is Rule 34? If it exists, there's porn of it. Whatever. You get it. Yeah, gender swapped. This is, I don't technically know if you want to call this rules. Gender swapped, if this is actually a biological male freeze who thinks he's a woman, and then this is just the best he could do. Is hard in this suit to get the testosterone out of my system.
They got to keep those weirdos locked up in Arkham.
I had to bathe myself in this estrogen. Again, thought it was a good idea. Thought we wouldn't notice. Thought we wouldn't say anything. Like the haircut, right? Sort of. I could pull that off, maybe.
They were like, let's not stop at the blue hair. Let's do the whole thing.
I think the joke, Daxnar, is they don't know either that they shrivel right off. Oh, almost ripped my ears out. So it's painful when I do that. Speaking of always painful, depending on how you look at it, and this might be a shit show depending on, they changed the fucking change.org symbol to a rainbow. I just noticed that. It's not even June.
It is somewhere, baby.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. Do you think someone waited with a button that said virtue signal? Fire. And it changed the, okay, sorry. That's not what I wanted to talk about. You just got a live reaction to that. No. Grums framed the whole free Stellar Blade thing. It's 100% victory, and it was a bit disingenuous, and a lot of the chat took umbrage. And even I felt iffy about, like, well, wait, how can we say it's about censorship if all they did is add 2 new booby outfits, which is fine, but that's like the slander that the narrative was, right? That's like, oh, they just want tits. And like, no, it's about censorship. It's about the gore. It's about they sold one thing and then changed it afterwards. So if we all just go, oh, we got booby outfits, it sort of proves them right. Now, thankfully, our enemies are certain. Now, I know they're all idiots, basically, so they didn't pick up on that. Shout out Tomac for 10. So, Badger, now that you have made the Hall of Fame list, which we will get to later on through the week, when are we getting a true Badger cast with the Russian Badger? Well, we do get Badger cast Tuesday and Wednesday. But if you mean when will Russian Badger show up? Well, it'll take a long time to say anything in Badger cast, but he will show up if you wish. You must summon him.
White Russian Badger?
You must summon him. Yeah, no, I'm not allowed to have white Russians anymore. Remember? Hey-oh. No, shout out Tomac for 10. Good suggestion to Erwin today, by the way, of him watching Bridge Over the River Kwai.
Oh, I saw that. And
yeah, I'm gonna check that out too.
I saw the recommendation, and I'd never even heard of the film. So
what?
You got all three of us. Yeah,
really? That's an oldie. I've never seen it, but I was like aware of it, and I know that I should be watching it. The Great Deadpoolio for 2. Great Deadpoolio for 2.
Oh, okay.
Your one and only favorite Latinx is here. They hate when you say Latinx, by the way. Can't tell if they get that we mean it as a joke, but reference. I think it's doing its job. I think that's doing its job if it triggers people.
Since you said it that way, it made me think. I absolutely love. Here's something about me you may not know, which is weird, right?
Careful.
When I'm watching your videos and you bring up Florence, pew, pew, I giggle my fucking ass off.
I don't know why. Now I started saying Florence, pew, like, and I don't know why I say it that way, but also and separately, I cannot hear Krista saying Keenan for 2. Separate but very similar. It's from one of the Christmas videos.
Some things just get burned.
The main part of that last one is I do think Grums was being a little bit of disingenuousness, a little bit of reframing as 100% win when it was only a partial, if that, because that, let's face it, it was never going to hit 100,000. He even printed it out, and it amounted, if you watched this morning, it printed out to 1 box. I was like, okay. All right, the petition was starting to lose momentum, so he declared victory, even if it was only a partial victory. Ack, brother. I think that's 100% what it is. That's fine. I sort of wish he had just, we're not dumb. You can just tell us that. Badger, I know I didn't donate, but I have a suggestion for you to watch and or read the 100. If you mean like the show, I have watched the show.
Oh, I've watched almost all of it.
I've watched the it gets a little long in the tooth there.
Yeah.
She's hot though. She's hot.
Oh
though.
yeah.
Several
of them are easy on the eyes.
Indeed. So the next one that not easy on the eyes, though, we had heard a bit of this from that leak from Insomniac Games, that leak of Wolverine. Because of course they get all the fun games, and I guess anyway, we'll see if anyone ever buys it. But it's Pride Month, so I guess this is apt. Where the associative narrative, every time I hear narrative now, pattern recognition makes me go, narrative director, consultancy group. Mary Kinney says every lever must be pulled to push LGBTQ agenda. Now, that part plays put in disordered, but I don't want to editorialize. But she did say every lever must be pushed, every tactic must be used, basically. Which it's like, I get it. Okay. I get it. The problem is they don't have the ability to separate their wants and needs and their agenda from making a good game that actually appeals to not everyone, because when you make it for everyone, you appeal to no one, but at least the majority of people who play the goddamn thing. So just, because Erwin has trained me well, we have to be right. Her exact words, she says, there are so many LGBTQ developers, and yeah, we fucking know. We know that. We've been seeing it, and you guys are not quiet about it. We want what players want. X to doubt. Find experiences that tell the player we're here.
No.
We're important, and we belong. Okay, but there's a disconnect there between the first part and the middle part. There's so many LGBTQ developers. Yes, there are. We want what players want. Okay. That's the part where I don't think
that's the turn.
Yeah. To design experiences that tell the player we're here. The guy, I don't particularly, and forgive me for being bigoted, I don't really give a shit if there's LGBTQ representation in my games. If it's there, that's fine. Do it well.
I don't even care if there's heterosexual representation. I don't care if there's a relationship at all, for instance. It doesn't have to be in every game. Just make it good.
I like Vag too, but I don't brag about it. I mean, Jesus. Don't walk around. It's the equivalent of like me walking around in like a flannel shirt with an axe. Like, I cut down trees and like being like overtly like straight and shit. Like I don't even know what the fuck it is. Could you tell me a good story? Can you make me care about the characters? That's the rub. That's the rub on most of the things. I really don't even give a shit if you have an agenda behind it. If you can make me care about it, you make me care about it. Well, then you succeeded. If not, then move right along. And it's a good thing Great Dead Pulio is here, because we're going to talk about, boy, do I miss the algorithm for Warhammer. I really hope that they fuck up the lore. I mean, I hope they don't fuck up the lore more. I swear. They're going to do it anyway, by the way. The Space Marines game, Space Marine 2, which I actually want to play, but I can't because first, AAA, not buying AAA games. Although, depending, they don't, I think there's like a narrow window where as long as they don't virtue say, that's what I'm saying. Okay, it's not technically a make you cry one. It's not technically a make you cry, because the point of this whole article, because I remember it, is that this sort of all happened before Games Workshop went entirely fucking wokey, or at least overboard. And it seems like a lot of the game has been done since at least 2023. So all that fucking changing the custodies to women, even though they're not going to release miniatures, all that shit for the TV show. In other words, this might have been spared, and there's not going to be any like DLC that you can't earn in the game. Like the only DLC that is, and it's in their season pass, whatever, is supposed to be just cosmetic. No pay to win, no gear with like stats and shit. Because even Helldivers sort of had a outfit that gave you a really good stat if you pre-ordered. Speaking of pre-ordered, Tomahawk, I already had that game pre-ordered, so I have it. I hope it's good. I'm going to assume this was before we all learned the lesson of no pre-orders, because it has been done for a while. My interest in it solely is I have been wanting to get into Warhammer specifically for a long time, but almost all the games are RTS and isometric views, and I just don't give a shit. I'm sorry, but like you tell me it's third person, and I get melee because I'm all about melee and swords and shit, and shooting and 3v you, me, and Deadpoolio here.
Sure.
Bro, heresy detected for the Emperor, for the God Emperor Trump, 2024. Yeah, I'm here for this game, but I'm not here for this game if it's filled with a bunch of fucked up agenda and DEI, pronouns everywhere. Right, this needs to be what I wanted the TV show to be, is just pure killing of Xenos and demons from the warp and whatever for fucking the Emperor. Like the patriarchy of the patriarch and trying to say like the patriot like humor and satire.
You want it to be like early Gears of War, not late Gears of War.
Yeah. Oh god, early Gears of War. Memories.
Wonder
why we stopped playing. Oh, that's
because
right.
The story went from story to we're here. And we belong.
Now if you go back and if you look at like the last Gears, and you see it with 2024 eyes, you're like, oh, I see what they did. No wonder I stopped playing. And that's similar to what happened to the Homeworld 3, where Gearbox deleted. We're seeing a lot of deleted interviews. Gearbox deleted the entire Lynn Joyce interview because it's just the entire interview was her saying the quiet part out loud, bragging and happy as they do. Happy now, thankfully, because again, like I said, I don't like RTSs, so I was never able to get on the Homeworld bandwagon. But again, rip, RIP, and bro, the Coal Train, baby. Oh, remember Diversity? Remember we were all racist and bigots because we liked the Coal Train. Such a good character, ethnic. In fact, all of them, right?
Yeah,
Dom. Yeah, there you go. All aboard the Coal Train, baby. God, they fucked up by not having Batista play that role in his prime. God knows when we'll get a Gear. Now, obviously, like all things, you don't want them. No. Everyone loved exactly. I'm sure there'll be some gross reframing of history if they ever did some sort of thing like that. The first Space Marine game is pretty much Gears of War. It's on Steam if you want to play it. Okay. It's third person? Yeah. Cole is the best. I mean, I don't know if he's the best character. Maybe I'm a little biased. But all right. This is the meat. And shout out to Alyssa because this did... this kept the channel popping throughout the week with not much stories going on. She did the list, and I will point out that this is not like in order of who she hates the most. It's in order of the amount of videos made about her. So Hypnotic, he made the most videos about her, and I'm down there on 13.7, the same amount of videos as coincidentally as that Park Place. Absolutely no coincidence or actually no connection whatsoever. But she made a list. She checked it twice, deleted it, but it didn't matter because we had all seen it. It got out to everyone. I'm sure it was for completely innocent purposes.
It is innocent. Yeah, she doesn't have a reason for doing it other than letting you know what's up.
Just wanted to let everyone know, a list of people to go subscribe to. Thank you. Oh no, I'm sure she's updated it, but this is the list at the time that she released it. I'm sure she'll continuously update it. Jericho, you made it to the list. Jericho, by the way, talk about the
series,
good show. Canceled too soon, unfortunately. I'll have to check that out. I think on one of those I got missed. I know. I was the only reason she was hitting goal every week. It's okay. It's all right. Shout out. Make it up in the back end. Giggity. Speaking of things that were betrayed, I don't know why the Mad Max fans didn't show up to this, but despite having relatively high rating numbers, and even Critical Drinker said it's a decent movie, no one showed up to Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
I wonder if it's because it has nothing to do with Mad Max.
Do you think having a Mad Max movie without Mad Max is the same sort of lunacy as having Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. Entire universe of them.
If you took that name out, right, would it still sell? Clearly not.
Furiosa.
Yeah, no.
I gave less than a fuck about Furiosa in the movie Fury Road, even though like at the time it's one of those that like in hindsight I can't condone. It was an early proto Last Jedi before Last Jedi, where the main character, I mean, granted, at least he wasn't made pathetic and drunk and a loser and all that, but you know, where the agency was taken from who you want and given to an unlikable female character. And the sad thing is, this movie is probably good. Probably end up liking it. I like Anna Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth. I like George Miller, but it's probably the right movie in the wrong time. And also, just give us a fucking Mad Max movie and then do all your spin-offs.
No, they put Mad Max in a mouthpiece.
Oh, yes. Bait and switch. 100% bait and switch. And honestly, and this is sort of the Force Awakens things where it's like you wait the whole movie waiting for Luke Skywalker and then never really shows up until the very end. It's like, oh, you fine. And then you wait the entire 2-3 years for the next one, and he throws his lightsaber off and he's pathetic. So yeah, it's at least Max got to do something, but then it's like, bro, give us a Mad Max movie before either Tom Hardy or Mel Gibson is dead. Either or. Furiosa at least has some struggle on a whole carrier. I don't even need to see this movie to know she had, kidnapped and fighting back. And that's at least something. This was one of those that not much nothing. Another in the long line of trans characters added to multiplayer hero shooters. We're going to talk about a fun one later on. But that's one of those business as usuals, Valve. And of course, Valve interesting on a few things. No shortage. Bro, just give me Half-Life 3.
I was going to say Half-Life, right? Yeah.
Just give me Half-Life 3. That's all. So long. Been waiting for so long.
The end of Game of Thrones, right? You're like, where is it? Why not? What's taking so long? I don't know.
Yeah.
But then now if you get it, it'll be wrong, right? It'll be bad.
Oh, God. Yeah. See, that's the thing. What was ironic is we got Half-Life 2, and it took like a decade between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. And they were like, no, okay. So we know that took way too long. So they released Half-Life Episode 1 and then Half-Life Episode 2. Ole mama. Oh, yeah. Sonia Lisette, what's going on? Welcome. We missed you. And so they released Half-Life Episode 1 and 2, and they were good, and 2 ended on a cliffhanger, and I'm gonna hit 40 before this fucking game came. I was in my 20s. You know what? I might have even been in my teens. Jesus Christ, give me, please, Gabe. All right. That's it. If I had one wish, it wouldn't be for world peace or any resolving of anything. It would just give me the goddamn Half-Life 3. Well, that or let me erase everything Disney has done to Star Wars. And
that's a big ask.
Well, I said, if you're giving me ultimate asks, George apparently probably has the same. I'm not going to go into this. This was just the story. And then he said what we all have been saying for the past decade, that Disney doesn't understand Star Wars, and he was the only one. Also said how he doesn't really have any heir, so Dave Filoni's not the heir. He just hijacked it. And bonjour, mommy. Daxnar, look at you. Everyone likes Sonya. She gets everywhere. She's the mod of mods. The wrench of wrench. You're gonna get t-shirts with like mod Hall of Fame, like an actual Hall of Fame, not a like fake Kentucky hit list Hall of Fame, an actual Hall of Fame.
Sure.
Sonya would for sure be on it. But
I'm not kidding. I am still keeping track. I'm making the bingo card. I'm thinking about doing it on a mouse pad, but it might be a t-shirt.
Yeah. You should. Yeah, George.
I'm working on it.
George, hot on the heels of endorsing Bob Iger and saying amateurs can't make magic. Basically, you don't want to leave it to amateurs to make. Even though he was an amateur when he made magic, And then he comes out and says the quiet part out loud. After the vote's like, why didn't you say that beforehand? Why didn't you say that beforehand? Anyway, well, good for them. We'll see how that works out for them. Speaking of seeing how it works out for you, YouTuber Smash JT, his Kotaku detected website got mass flagged by Second Wind editor Nick Calandra. That was a whole little boring story through the week, but sometimes they scream loudly and you must shine light on them before they scurry back away. Well, okay. Super sticker, it is just a super sticker for 2. Shout out to Llama.
Little super chicken.
Lamb. Yeah.
Shout out. Williams?
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, looks like Williams.
Yeah, no, it's shout out. We'll just let him retire in peace. Oh, Draco just dropping this, show some love. We appreciate that, sir. Draconis, as Erwin says, dragons make everything better. So Draco, thank you. Gay Space Cowboys stole Star Wars. Yeah, they stole our germs. It's Williams. All right, shout out Williams. Thank you.
I can read between the lines.
Yeah, you can. Nick couldn't. So basically, they were, James Smash JT had his website, and on it he had Kotaku detected. All it does is list publicly available information of everyone that worked or involved with Kotaku. And ironically, it was around this time that this was brought back up, Alyssa talking about the hypocrisy of making lists when she had made that list later that day. So all it did is, so like I said, they did a dirty little trick that they always do, and they have their fans mass flag the site and get it reported, which it lasts for a day or two before saner heads prevail.
Humans have to look at it after the bots deny it, right?
Yeah. Basically, it's just an auto flag for the AI, and it's in the dirty tactics that they use. It's they dox you, they SWAT you, they mass report you, they try to bait you. There's no Geneva Convention in the pop culture war, not yet, at least. We'll see, but language is important. We've talked about this a bunch. That's why they like to control it. George Carlin famously said that we think in language, therefore the quality of your thinking can only be as good as your language. And to that end, Epic Games and other, Epic Games is just, of course, just one of many corrupted, influenced, infiltrated coding now. From catering to on-screen, to studios, to protagonists, to coding language. Learn to code, bigot. Yeah, you have to use inclusive language for coding. We could see right with your, at least for the Epic Games, if you're working on the Unreal Engine, no more terms like blacklisting, whitelisting, slave master, none of the things that you would root, probably, because roots, I don't know, I'm just freeballing here. Racial, ethnic, religious inclusiveness. Slave master, nuke.
What does nuke? Are we doing like a Hiroshima thing?
Japan, I guess. So first of
all, I just want
want
to be clear before I.
I want you to understand, you're a racist and a bigot if you wanted Japanese representation in the Japanese Assassin's Creed game, but we're highly sensitive because I'm sure every Japanese, but there's a lot of people alive during the nuking of Japan in World War II. I'm sure you're all very sensitive to that. So that we will need inclusive language for. But don't you dare ask for Japanese representation in Assassin's Creed. Fucking bigots. Refer to hypothetical people. A lot of these people I think are hypothetical, but as they, them, and their. Even in the singular. In the singular.
And there we go. Look, I can no longer say, chat, you guys are awesome.
We'll talk about this later when we get to Kathy and Leslie tag teaming everyone with the attacking the fans. But yes, women have always been important to Star Wars, which is why it's disingenuous to say that they aren't, or that they're just now for the first time becoming. But yeah, we'll talk about that. Slang, remember that your words are being read by a global audience. That's almost, be careful, that's almost like a modern audience. Global audience that may not share the same idioms and attitudes and who might not understand the same cultural references. Ironically enough, that's where localizers would come in if this was like an anime or something. And they would be like, oh, you have someone that's a cross-dresser? Let's just say he's trans and use it to promote ideology. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Nintendo. Yeah, overloaded words, many terms.
This is the one that's bothering me.
Many terms that we use for their technical meanings have other meanings outside of technology. Examples include abort. I don't know what they're talking about. Abort, execute, or native.
You mean to cancel, start? It's really getting out of hand.
Yes. Yes. I went to the hashtag cancel clinic. Yeah. Again, Larry Fink told us exactly what this is, CEO of BlackRock. Now, he was talking about the culture of a law firm, but it extends to what they want to do to the world. When you want to see a change, you must reflect that change everywhere. And that extends to the catering, the movie trailers, the books, everywhere.
Equilibrium, 1984.
Yes. Have you turned off your emotions today? Have you received your marching orders?
I didn't take my joy today. No.
Equilibrium, another movie. Erwin, no, I think he has seen. He's so fucking random. I think he has seen that one because he was mentioned anything that's like political like that. He does watch.
What bothers me is when he gets pseudo offended by you saying like, "I bet you haven't seen this," and he goes, "Well, I have. Thank you very much." Like, dude, calm the hell down. You haven't seen shit.
Yeah. Well. Now he's barely gotten into it, but yeah, no, he's still in the grand scheme.
I'm proud.
He hasn't seen shit. Yeah. I'm proud of him, but also like you should have done this a long time ago, kid. I'm glad we all get to share in your cultural enrichment. Speaking of cultural enrichment, a bunch of movies that definitely enrich mine were made by John Musker. And this is what we need across the board. We talk about it all the time. Every time a gay person or a trans person, because they're in the chat, shout out to you. And they come in the streams, no joke. And when they say like, hey, I'm gay or I'm trans, all this shit, I don't subscribe to this. This isn't what I want. I just want to watch stuff. I don't want it to be preached to, and they're ruining it. It's like, well, guess what?
They can only identify as the villains.
No. Even they call that out. But that's the point. You need to call it out. You need to police your own, and that's the same of Gary and Drinker have said this forever. We can call it out in the movies. It doesn't help. It helps, but what really helps is the people with actual authority there calling it out instead of like quietly being like, "You're doing a good job." It's like, no. You need to police your own. And that's what was nice. Again, the dude behind writing and directing Great Mouse Detective, Little Mermaid, the good one, Aladdin, Hercules, Treasure Planet, The Princess and the Frog, and Moana. And of course, with those last two.
Okay, Moana was fine, but all the others were great movies.
And apparently Princess and the Frog is race swapped from Grimm Brothers or whatever. It is essentially like a white prince, whatever. The point is, even that apparently could have been done well when at the time he says we weren't trying to do agenda. But like I said, when even the legends that have done that are calling it out, of course, now he probably wouldn't be hired at Disney anyway because he's white. And you know what that means. Male and pale.
Evil.
Stale. Pale. Evil. Trigger words. But he's calling it out. And someone else who's calling it out, well, not so much. This is sort of a tantamount. And I think it's sort of bullshit because this is someone who just 4 months ago was talking about anti-fans and how evil the fans are. What?
Yeah, no, it's a tune change for sure.
I tell you, there's I don't know what's happened. There's a definite shift in the tone of the country compared to 4 months ago.
Good amount of people are finally switching it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love women. I can't help myself. I was born this way. This guy, who of course should be busy fucking writing his book and finishing Winds of Winter, who's whatever, over 10,000 days he's been writing it, blasts Hollywood for what we all have been saying. that they think they know better. Yeah, I know the sheer fucking hubris meme that I always play, but yeah. So I want to get down to here because really this is what the main problem from every single time when you say they're going to adapt something. It's the agenda, it's the DEI tax, but it's also, oh shit, they're going to change it because, as he says, no matter how major a writer it is, no matter how great the book, there always seems to be someone on hand who thinks he can do better, eager to take the story and improve on it. The book is the book, the film is the film, they will tell you, as if they were saying something profound. Then they make their story their own. They never make it better, though. Never. 999 times out of 1,000, they only make it worse. And he goes on to Below Shogun, and I'm sure Shogun is a very good film, but the main point is Star Trek, Wheel of Time, Rings of Power. The Witcher, to me, is the most grotesque. And shout out to Beau DeMayo. Before we even knew when he got hired for 97, he was working in the writer's room for The Witcher. And he's the one that came out and said, oh, they fucking hate Henry. They hate Andrew Sapkowski or whatever, the actual writer. They hate all of this shit. They've gone out of their way to change it. And that's why all that bullshit narrative about Henry being difficult. It's like, no, he liked the book and the character. And every time you tried to butcher it, he said something. Cue him being difficult.
Hating everyone.
I mean, by that definition, Ian McKellen was difficult as Gandalf because he walked around set reading a book. The difference is Peter Jackson wasn't a see you next Tuesday, and he said that the only agenda they were interested in, and this should be the fucking rule if you're adapting anything, the only agenda in politics should be the agenda in politics that the original writer did. Don't you fucking reframe it for whatever year. I don't care if you're making it for 2024 or 2034 or 3024, but quite frankly, if we're still remaking shit in 3024, no, wrong, bad. We've gone too far. Hope we have hoverboards by then.
He walks up to Ian and smacks the fucking book out of his hand on set.
Yeah. Well, or worse, told you, could you imagine the reality where Peter Jackson told him, don't read the books because we want you to have a fresh, pulled the Marvel on them.
Yeah.
I want you to have a fresh perspective. I
something completely different.
Nutella, you want to fucking just not have me be able to call you on changing shit, which is, that's the worst part, is how they try to reframe it as a positive. But what was a positive, and again, the timeline corrects itself, is, of course, the Kotaku Detected website got reinstated. Their dirty little mass flagging didn't work. Apparently, it was an Israeli country. It was out of the country. It was during the weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend. So when when Smash was able to contact them and show them, look, this is all publicly available information, they brought it back.
It wasn't long.
It wasn't enough for them to like dunk and make fun and shit, but still.
But that's what made it better, is that they had to then eat that crow quick.
Yeah, and I think I didn't bring it up, but it was Alyssa's only response was, you can keep your website. It's like, yeah, thanks.
I take my ball and go home.
And this basically, and Smash did go on to say that he's going to have this like re-uploaded and backed up. So don't worry, they won't be able to pull this again. And the sneaky tactics are, of course, Nick sends very nice Twitter messages saying, I'm not behind any attacks. I'm not doing anything. And then he has his weaponized Discord fans do all the mass flagging for him. So he has plausible deniability. Where's the first time you've heard that term before? It's a movie that I can't not hear the actors say it.
I know. Plausible. It's also like, what's the other phrase? Diplomatic immunity.
Well, that obviously another movie. Yeah, because I know he hasn't seen Lethal Weapon 2. Yeah,
there's good movies.
Independence Day, when they go to Area 51, and the president finds out, he's like, "Why wasn't I told about this?" And his Secretary of Defense go, 2 words, Mr. President: plausible deniability. All right, bro, I can lie. I can lie. You could have just told me. I guess maybe they didn't think he had much of a poker face. So, poker face. All right. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy plays victim and says female Star Wars creatives get attacked in ways that could be quite personal due to the fan base being so male dominated. So fucking much and so much. First of all, so we're admitting that the fan base is male dominated. The fan base is male dominated. I know they tried to say that Star Wars itself is patriarchal. It's not. It's filled with women and shaped by women. But the fan base is majority of men. That's, as Chris Gore points out, why Disney originally bought it, because Disney was majority female. And so they bought Star Wars and Marvel for the male audience, and then probably fucked that up by turning them into female brands, because that's all they knew how to market and do. Hey Badger, hey everyone, Poker Fritz, shout out. Like, actually not that bad a song. I missed the Xbox with the Connect and the, was it Dance Revolution?
I think about it constantly.
It was actually really good.
Yeah,
I do miss that.
No, it wasn't Dance Revolution.
No, but it was some sort of revolution. Whatever. The point is, that shit was ahead of its time. I hope we do get those type of peripherals back. Touching grass is overrated, but getting up and dancing on for the machine overlord, that's fun. That's fun.
Speaking of Lady Gaga, did you? How upset are you machine at her overlord? Fucking stupid name. She's playing her character as what did she say?
Lee.
Yes, thank you.
Connect. Yeah. What the fuck? Connect was bomb. Voice.
Yeah, dude.
I was Xbox. Turn on. I constantly would tell that thing what to do.
Oh yeah, play, pause, and then we had all the different, the sports games. It was better than a Wii, in my opinion, if you had the right setup.
It's this meme I saw. I forgot what it was. It was like me being 13, my parents losing everything in the financial crisis, and me fighting for my life on Medium and Guitar Hero. Yeah, bro. We didn't know how good we had it. That was the funniest shit ever back in the day, of people tricking people, like naming their gamer tag Xbox shut down, and then doing troll shit in game. So when people would yell at them, it would shut down their time machines.
That was all the bad guys in the game lobbies.
Speaking of bad guys, Kathy basically tried to reframe everything as women had it way harder. She brought up the Kelly Marie Tran, even though Kelly Marie Tran has gone on record saying that it was the press, not the fans, and just a lot of boo blaming fans. Surprising. I missed that. I hope they bring that back in some form. What I don't hope they bring back, but which of course they will, Gary called it that they committed to 5 seasons, and they will do 5 seasons, even if it's a reduced budget. And that is that they're going to use Tom Bombadil, who I am no fucking expert, never read the books, only watched the extended edition movies, which is what you should do. But in researching this and seeing like a lot of the making of, and hearing Peter Jackson talk about this, and then reading some of these letters from Tolkien, Bombadil is important to the story. He has a reason, but he's not important to the like specific narrative, which is why he was able to be left out. But he is important, shouldn't be fucked with, and he's supposed to be enigmatic. And much like don't give the Joker a specific backstory, they're giving him a specific backstory. And it also sounds like, if this rumor is to be true, they are going with a fucking fan fiction version of maybe like who his real identity is. And it's not, don't do this. So
there's too much identity problems.
They must be stopped.
No,
they can't keep getting away with it.
It's coming to a very slow stop.
Yeah,
it just took a long time.
You know how everyone thought like woke was dead? There was a peak moment there, and we were like, woke is dead, and we're like, no, it's not. What the fuck are you talking about? It's going to get way worse before it gets better. We're in the it's getting worse part, because there's a whole bunch of things in the pipeline, a whole bunch of things set in motion, that even though some people are firing their writer's room and refocusing on the male gaze,
you can't kill everything.
You can't kill. Well, careful with that. Speaking of, this got confirmed. This got confirmed because DMCA takedowns were issued to people using it on the twats. Thankfully, I did not get hit with it because I was using not that in my thumbnails. But just confirmed that was not someone making it up. And by the way, Steph's abused keyboard, shout out to troll accounts. I don't even think we should call it fan fiction, because fan fiction is a higher quality. That implies they were fans. This is just fiction. It's legal fiction. And the way they're introducing Bombadil is with those fucking we got hobbits at home and what's his face, not Gandalf. So yeah, it's going to be torturous. And speaking of torturous, because of course, I guess Leslie was like, hold on, hold my beer, Kathy. Let me get in on this too. Leslie Headland declares people opposed to wokeness are not Star Wars fans. Echoes of when Ewan McGregor came out and basically said, you're no fans about the Moses Ingram story. Again, before anyone even said shit, they came out and attacked us, called us racist and bigots. And not that fun sort of bigot account. Steph's abused keyboard. I don't really think Steph's keyboard has gained sentience and is now typing on itself. So I do think this might be considered a troll account, but like, shout out, it's a good one. Doesn't mean bad.
Doesn't love a good troll.
That's what happens with troll. Doesn't necessarily with a parody account. What are we like? Like,
you got to use your words.
Creamy back end. Yeah, you're right. Words matter. I don't want to use bigoted. No, Leslie, that's Wookiee, not woke. Shout out to Erwin's girlfriend. He can save her. He'd take her in any form. Or no, it was 12 years ago. Yeah, you're no fans. Totally didn't hold anyone down. Very interesting. I found out that she just cold called Lucasfilm and was like, "Hi, I want a job," and they gave it to her.
Who are you talking about?
Nice? Leslie Headland. She's called
Harvey
Lucasfilm.
Weinstein's former.
Yeah, that's right. Her personal assistant with the big buff, arms. Yeah. Again, tried to reframe everything as us attacking. Yeah, this way it is. They know. So now, I'll call you right. I'll call it out right now. Okay. They're going to make that. Don't worry. We're when we get to the end of this, we're going to talk about Anakin blowing up the Death Star. We're going to talk about that. Jesus. They are attacking us now. So that anything we point out will immediately be dismissed. And yeah, of course. Then Steph should stop pouting or to keep what's allowed. My missions is fine with it. So I don't really care what you guys call me. Hey, shout out to you. Get the message out. When I was a young queer girl. Hope she sings that.
Let's see.
When I was a girl and hobbies appeal. Yeah.
Can't talk about farting though, because that's not very ladylike.
No, but I'm sure, you know, the drugs. Yeah, this also brought up our favorite. Can't wait for this one. Charmin Obey-Chinoy. They brought up all of this. They never bring up that no one had any backlash to like basically any of the female directors of Disney Plus on like The Mandalorian. No one had any problem when Patty Jenkins had her movie, but of course Charmin Obey-Chinoy, because she said a bunch of dumb shit about offending everyone in context and out of context. I know some in one context it was fine what she said, but then she had that second double down, which yeah, I'm also convinced that Chris Gore, he's the one that said that she announced this movie on CNN, that CNN announcement that she just went ahead so they couldn't cancel it. I'm sort of thinking that is true. But yeah, no, so there you go. And the best part about all of this is the same Lucasfilm that hires people like this. Shocking, I know it's against white people, so it probably doesn't count. Yeah. I forgot. There's another one, like Ireland too, who there's a writer, and then there's one that they got to host their like High Republic community, like shocking, a community manager who's racist and hates people. Boy, they were the OGs of doing that. Yeah. So just, you know, hypocrisy. Thy name is Lucasfilm. How are you going to hire people like this? And then of course defend. So I don't understand how this, and you know, white people fucking stop it, could be defended by but okay, sure, but we're all bigots and racists and all that. Just remember that.
So is the people screaming the loudest, right?
It's a good tactic, I guess. Yeah. And by the way, probably has like a white boyfriend. They always do, or married. That's
he's mixed, but he comes off as white.
Mildly surprised to not that surprised. Sony attempts to spin Sweet Baby Ink influenced Marvel's Spider-Man 2 as a great success, despite sales not even reaching half of the original. So the first one, which I have played on the PS4, because it was the one FOMO. It was like, I'm not buying a PlayStation for this, but I really want to play this game. They lorded over it. It's Spider-Man in the Arkhamverse. Finally played it on PS4. Like my homie lent it to me because he already had a PS5. It was good. It was good. Arkham series is better. It was good though. It was decent. Didn't make me want to rush out and buy a PS4 to continue to play it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I played the Miles Morales DLC, which introduced his deaf, obviously black, spray painting girlfriend. Now it's ambiguous as to whether or not Sweet Baby Inc. was involved at this point. I personally think they were. Can't prove it yet. But anyway, gave it back. And then, of course, the whole thing with Spider-Man 2 came out. Hail, shout out Wayfair199, hit the like button because rodents need love too. Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. He needs all the love. Poor bastard. Poor bastard. Spider-Man 2 needs the love. Unlike Beardo, I could not eat around the poop cookie. So you can see here, it only sold 11 million units. The first one sold 22. I'm sorry. Now, multiple reasons. One, the narrative around Sweet Baby Inc. came around. Them possibly trying to switch and make Miles Morales the main one became prominent. The gay pride flags everywhere, which was in the first one, by the way. The switching of the player model from the original person that played Spider-Man to the new one for the remastered. That was a whole hubbub. The making Mary Jane ugly.
Mary Jane, yeah.
Which we see that a lot. The gay homecoming mission, the spray painting mission where you play as Miles' girlfriend, all of this became very loud and prominent. And all of that led to word of mouth that I just think led to a lot of people going, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I think, gameplay probably better. But the story, and then obviously Hypnotic plays the amazing ending where the scared white people look back as the black man saves the day. Never get tired of watching that opening. I don't know. Maybe I'll play it one day if it's like highly, highly discounted, but sure as fuck not getting my money now. I don't think it'll ever come to Game Pass, obviously, because it's a Sony thing, even on PC. So, because they're going to make you do PlayStation Network. Gameplay is just as good as the first one. The only problem is the woke bits and the loud, annoying woke bits and some of the boss fights. Yeah. Oh God, I did hear that. I did hear there was some, and you can bet that Sweet Baby Inc. the narrative dialogue in the boss fights of like talking about like, you know, I'm gonna assume it's something about like bad white people. And yeah, kneel and be amazed at the power of how awesome women are, the intersectional feminism. Sure. So that's basically, I think, the sum. Kneel and be amazed. Okay, good. So it must be a good one. All right. Home stretch now before we do, bro. I might need to get it, at least show part of it. It's so good. Rat, have you seen this? The Hypnotic plays
saw
it.
the
Oh
clip.
my God.
Yeah.
I never get tired of it. I love he's like, I'm gonna wait a second so it's more dramatic.
Build it up, yeah.
Just look at the white people standing back. Oh, the hand of a black, touch of a black man. Yeah. All right. So getting into today, or almost home stretch before we can react to these cringe-worthy, and I'm gonna need a warning might cause cancer thing, these wackolite videos. But Silent Hill is getting it. I was going to make another joke, but it's basically just going to be getting it. It's going to be getting grapey. Silent Hill 2 remakers Bloober, which I just think that's a horrible name for a company, but Bloober hired Hit Detection, which is a DEI consultancy group, Sweet Baby Inc., Gamer X, Black Girl Gamers, same shit. It'll definitely be on DEI detected. So what's the first thing they do? That's what the character looks like originally, and 2024. And 2024. Don't lesbians like pretty girls too?
You know, Philip Morris, if you will, put this in. It made sense. That's probably what happened.
Yeah. But the problem with that is even when you go with that route with like the Mary Jane looking ugly, like even she looked better than what we actually got. Well, that would make sense of why, because Yeah, much like CD Projekt Red. Here's the one that I'm complaining about. Now, the nurse is famously Bubas. I don't care about the face because I wasn't looking there anyway. Female nurse.
Face?
Yeah.
What's that?
Trans. Male gaze.
Trans-Siberian
Male
nerd.
gaze. I can't wank to that. I can work with this. Hold on. Yeah, I could work. I could work with that. I work with that. I work with that just fine. This, I could do nothing with this. I could not work with this material. What is this? I'd rather go back to a J.C. Penney's catalog. Wrong. Yeah. No. What the hell is even that? Now, of course they trans it up. Now, again, and I'm 100% on the bandwagon now of I don't believe them when they say it's for, oh, you were objectifying bullshit or it's a beauty standards. No, this is because the queer and trans modern audience that you don't want to. It's the same thing with the Mrs. Freeze, it's Ma'am Freeze thing, which is in a way, and this has been pointed out by trans people too. It's like, wow, you really don't think we can be passing, huh? Because trust me, shout out to Blair White. Some of them can. It's like, you don't give them any credit. You really do make them look like monsters. And shout out to those who would make the joke.
Can you pull the Ugo nurse back up? Because Steps Abuse Keyboard is suggesting the skirt is getting shorter. Oh.
Well, you want to see just the little bit of the bulge,
the little rat's tail, as I call
bulgy. You want to see a little tease of what's to come.
You're gonna find Captain Winky.
Go away now. Yeah, Captain Winky. Fuck. Another movie he has not seen either of the Ace Venturas.
Yeah, it's because it's transphobic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we mentioned it. We summoned demons of Sweet Baby Inc. and the DEI consultancy company. So let's just get this out. Last video of the day because, and again, another Sony, another PlayStation Network requirement because, as Grums pointed out, he might be a little flaky on one thing, but he still has areas of expertise where he says basically PlayStation is banking on losing a bunch of money by saying that like growth. So money over growth, giggity. That's why they're requiring linking on everything, even when it technically shouldn't need it. PC. Finkel. Einhorn. Finkel. Laces out. Yeah. And I believe Ragnarok would not have sold as well as it did had it come out later. The impact of Sweet Baby Inc. wasn't yet known. So even though people pointed, I forgot her name, Agamara or something, I was like, why the fuck is this little black girl all of a sudden Norse and a focal point? Why are all these black this and dwarves and all in Norse mythology? Well, Sweet Baby Inc. So either way, it's coming out on PC, and if you want to play it, you're going to be linking to a PlayStation Network account, even if you want no part of all that.
I'm good.
Yeah, you're not going to play if they all came out? No? Or are you fully on board of the... Because I'm actually trust me, I got my money wrapped up in buying bookshelves and McFarlane's. So I'm completely fine with a 2-year moratorium. Let's just make it a 4-year moratorium on AAA games. I could do this standing on my head. I really do have a backlog.
It's funny because whenever you mention the moratorium, it's a 50-50 on whether you say 2 or 3 year.
I think he said 2. In my bones, I think it should be 3. 2 years isn't enough. It should be a full production cycle, which on most good games is like 3 years. So you gotta let all the shit fully come out. So the only things in the pipeline are good. And yeah, shout out. Oh, sorry, I forget that we're always like 10-15 seconds behind. Blair White is based. She's the one I will use her preferred pronouns. I refer to her as a one. Here's the thing. Blair, if you ask her, will say that she's a biological male. Acknowledges basic biology. Says stay the fuck away from kids. Says wait until you're over 18 to surgically alter yourself. And that includes surgical with chemicals. So yeah, Blair is base as fuck, has my support. If you want to be trans, that should be your idol right there of how to do it. And because doing it the Finkel Einhorn way just is dangerous. Is Leon on today? Is he drunk? I don't know. Either way, as normal, we're gonna go probably another 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how long it takes to get through these things and how crazy you guys get. But then we'll raid Leon, or go over. Do whatever. You're all adults. Blair is an actual trans woman, not the new. Exactly. Not the fucking current fad, not the mind virus, not the thing that they corrupt people with. Yeah, that's an actual, came out, super young, always felt that way consistently. And that's what you should understand is if you feel that strongly about it, just wait. It'll still be there. Raid Leon sounds gay as hell. Well, I hope you're in some places. It's already Pride Month. We're going to be late and gay all month long. Hypnotic. I suggest you do the same. Late and gay all month long to show our support, right? Because it's the modern audience is all gay now. That's what I keep hearing. As should everyone.
Who doesn't want to wear the ribbon?
And yeah. Well, and acknowledges actual gendered. Yeah, I mean. That should be the prerequisite. And just because it is a mental illness or condition doesn't mean it's technically a negative. She seems to be working quite well with it. Yeah. And also, Leon's fully transitioned. He has been for a while. Shout out Hondo. That's the only straight creature in that house. That's the bird. And the whole thing, and what really bothers me too, and I've actually been banned from a subreddit for shocking, I know, for pointing this out, is that when people talk about a genocide against trans, the only genocide is against gay people. You are taking people that would otherwise just grow up to be gay, and at the most vulnerable, confusing times in their life, butchering them and turning them into lifelong medical patients. And then when they go, hey, I think I've made a horrible mistake, much like DEI in your mistake, you fucking double down and you abandon them. And shout out Chloe Cole and all the detransitioners coming out and fighting that fight. Speaking of, unfortunately, because we will see trans and non-binary Jedi. Are you excited? I'm excited.
I'm ready to see it get whipped out.
For all the wrong reasons. Let me do this right. Let me share this so we can all, I hope you guys are ready. We've got the Beetle, not first, but in addition to some other little topics, we've got the Beetlejuice 2 trailer, which I didn't even realize was out.
I still haven't seen it.
We've got that Collider interview where he talks about Anakin destroying the Death Star. And we've got this acolyte, the dog fucker and the woman holder downer in Minecraft. Allegedly. Let us see together 2 minutes of what these butchers have. But first, let me make sure I didn't miss anything in chat. My gayness is rising, overflowing. Yes, good. Yeah. Go fucking bother that man. And yes, mutilation is mutilation. Y'all real tolerant. You fucking Angry Badger. Oh, yes. Talk about it all the time. I got a gay uncle, and if this had been around when he was growing up, I'd have a gay aunt right now.
For sure.
But speaking of the gays, let's see what they say.
2 directors talk about Star Wars.
That sounds good.
That does
Let's
sound
do
good.
that. Actually
Let's
sounds
do it.
really good.
Tell me about the Acolyte.
I'm sorry, just you ask.
By the way, when the fuck did she become a director? Personal assistant, called Lucasfilm, said, can I write something? And they said, sure. And now she's a director. Okay.
Do not talk about Erwin's girlfriend like that.
I know, he's going to get so upset if he can save her.
Asking me that question is making me cry.
Bro. Now, granted, he was pointing at the 12-year ago picture, but my God, man.
Is it? That's all right.
Yeah.
It is a big deal to a lot of people. It affects people in different ways, and this is your story, so.
What I was interested in examining were the Sith. The master-apprentice dynamic.
I bet you she wanted to explore the master-apprentice dynamic.
Bring
out Gimp! The Sith. I wonder, I would really love to, because when someone asked her what her favorite Star Wars was, she's like, I like all the Star Wars. Like, bro, do you really know what the Sith are? Do you think everyone that uses the dark side is a Sith? Do you think Kylo Ren was a Sith?
If the apprentice is craving the master's power, then at some point he must recruit his apprentice.
Yeah.
To overthrow the master.
Yeah.
And that is the acolyte.
Right.
Wrong.
Who trained you?
You don't wake up thinking you're evil or that you're
well, semi-right, but I wonder if she got like it's one of those things where she might have been right, but I don't know if she was like. So the whole point of the rule of two is Darth Bane, influenced by the holocron of Darth Revan, realized that the Sith, all and like thousands of them, constantly fucking each other over for power, wasn't exactly working. So he came up with the rule of two of the master and the apprentice, one to hold power and one to crave it. And when the apprentice is strong enough, he replaces the master, thus always having the strongest Sith around, but keeping power contained between two people. And that is the only two Sith. That being said, you could have acolytes, dark force acolytes, and use, I'm trying to think of Asajj Ventress, shit like that. Even what's his face? Quinlan Vos pretending to be an acolyte for a while. These are people that use the dark side. Maybe they learn like a Sith technique or two, but they don't actually follow the code. They are not Sith lords. They're not actual fucking Sith. But we'll see. Maybe she'll get into that distinction. I don't know. Let's see. There was that one Jedi that had to pretend. Yeah, Quinlan Vos. That's who I was talking about. Yeah, shout out to Quinlan.
You're the bad guy, as explored by George and Anakin.
Yeah, I don't think Anakin ever thinks he becomes evil.
Maybe in the beginning. Yes, Anakin did not think he was becoming evil. But once he fucking turns to the dark side and Vader or Palpatine Sidious sends him to kill everyone, and then like basically was like, yeah, and then go kill everyone over there on Mustafar, and only then you'll be powerful enough. And the darks, like he fucking knows he's doing wrong. That's why he's crying at Mustafar. He's not crying for what he's done. He's crying for what he's about to do. Same thing with when he's crying before he cries a lot. When he's crying before he goes there, he's crying because he knows he's about to fucking become evil.
Challenge?
Again, there are no acolytes in the rule of two. Darth. Yeah, that's well, it depends. In the they made it seem in Plagueis, and straight up in Plagueis, which was pre-Disney, that Plagueis was still alive. Palpatine was still the apprentice, and Darth Maul was an assassin. He was an acolyte. But in other versions earlier, yeah, there's acolytes abound. It's a term. It could also just be a dark side acolyte, completely unrelated to the Sith. It could just mean you like the dark side. You use your anger and shit. But just because you use your anger and all that, don't make you a Sith.
Oh, thank
God. But she's an assassin working for the Sith, so I guess that makes her a Sith assassin. But the problem with calling him a Sith assassin is there are actual Siths who use Sith shit, but that's like the old school Sith Empire.
I agree. And I think a lot of the characters in the Acolyte have to convince themselves that they are
doing the right thing.
They're doing the right thing.
This is the Clone Wars.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ahsoka was such an interesting character to me.
When we started, we had it very much.
I'm feeling zestier and zestier as it goes on. They were Jedi. They don't count. They don't count as kids. They don't count as people. They were just future threats. Yeah, I'm sure she was like, Anakin should have just held all the Jedi down.
A shell shock moment for her that she was out of her depth. And I'll never forget it. George watching it and saying, you guys are taking this a bit too seriously.
Didn't his master teach him how to hold them down right?
Like, even at a young age, she's not out of her depth for any of this.
I had a similar experience with the character Jackie. There was a note from somebody that was, wouldn't she be scared on her first mission? And I remember you telling me about that story.
Jedi training has to be valuable. It prepares them for the galaxy.
The first fucking line of the Jedi Code is, there is no emotion, there is peace. Jedi control their fear.
Do or do not.
Do or do not, there's no try. That's like, if you're trying, you're not actually doing it.
I had to do that with Acolyte for sure. My agreement with myself was whenever it overwhelms you that you're doing your dream, you just have to do it. Honestly, the times that I felt the most worried was not the special effects, the fighting choreography. It was the emotional stuff.
These things that George understood about filmmaking, understood about iconography, are things we still try to tap into.
We tried to fucking make shit look like he did, but we fail horribly. What amazing, yeah, super fucking feminine vibes. Like, he's a feminine. the word is out on whether he's actually gay. Either way, he is a feminist, and if you haven't been able to tell that by like, there's a little bit fucking wrong with it the way they do it.
The way they do
and
it.
Again, he has successfully created the Ahsoka character, kept her alive far longer than she should have, and yeah, all the way to being one of the most important characters in Star Wars. You know, by virtue of how they've made it with the plot. A lot of them do, and you're going to hear that's exactly what the stars thing. Oh God, because everything has to have a gay overtone.
It's the samurai
Undertone.
film. It has to feel elevated, but it also has to feel like Star Wars. Basically, what George created, it's the North Star.
What are you?
Oh, and you just saw him get killed in probably the first episode. That's nice that they did that because, yeah. I mean, do we really need spoilers? I think we could tell what's going to happen. All right.
All men die.
See. This is the big one. Hold on to you already almost 300 downvotes. I don't know, Phil. They say that we're going to see the best lightsaber fight since Empire, since Phantom Menace. That this is better than the Obi-Wan Maul Qui-Gon fight. That's what they're trying to fucking sell.
Phil.
The only North Star I acknowledge is Fist of the North Star. Shout out. I've heard you definitely. Erwin has been paid to watch that and I've been told it is good. The Wayfarer moral story: never leave the work of a man to a woman. Yeah, well, let's see. Hold on to your butts.
Charlie, you're getting my first questions. I'm following up on something you told my colleague at Star Wars Celebration. You said that one of the most exciting things about working on this project was that through the language and the development of these
language. Boy, didn't we just mention something about controlling language and how important they thought it was?
Let's do check marks. That's the first one.
All right. If we're on the bingo card, language is definitely diverse. Will also be something to say that. By the way, also shout out to Daphne King. I like her in His Dark Materials. Great as Logan's kid, X-23, whatever. No.
Characters, you realize that bad and good is in the eyes of the beholder.
I got in trouble for this question.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tease specifically how Yord personally must reckon with that particular idea?
Ooh, it's hard.
Yeah, real quick, he got in trouble because he said there's no good and evil. He said there's no good and evil in the Star Wars universe, even though it's specifically been pointed out. Yeah, by the way, I know. That's why I'm pausing, because I already have cancer. I'm sorry. We'll get through it together. I'm sorry.
Hard to not, because into the episodes, there's so much we can't give away. Yord is invested and committed to the Council. He's committed to this Jedi Force leading the people, leading the universe into a positive light. And I think he truly believes the good that is grounded in that. Though, life is way more complicated. And I think of the times, as kids, when you realize your parents aren't gods, you know what I mean? That moment when the kind of shatter comes and everybody
I don't know what he's talking about. My parents are still gods. Shout out to the Mama Badger. He's probably asleep at this point.
It's just human. You have a little bit more empathy, but it also creates this kind of like, I feel like I've been lied to or manipulated in some ways. I think that's some of the experiences that Yord is terrified by and may come to experience, but I can't really talk about things. But yes, I did get in trouble for this answer at Star Wars Con.
I see through the lies.
In my mind, it's so funny to me because it literally, as a person who's outside and just a fan coming in, that was what was so beautiful and interesting to me. People have been talking to me online about how Darth Vader is such a bad person. It's very clear, and it's very well established from those actions. But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. Right? Established from those actions. But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this right now.
You should just shut up.
It's just
shut up. I love
that
you.
But that is the beauty of this story, and it's the beauty of life that it's.
I don't think one person there realized.
No one realized why he should shut up.
Yeah. Yes, she. that was fucking painful. But that really was. I knew he said it, but that was okay. I did, you know what's funny? I fucking forgot to breathe for a second there. Credibility. Did he have any? But yeah, right. If we assume you have like a base level, first of all, that whole fucking there's no good and evil shit. Stop it. Stop it. Yes, by the way, that is the oldest meme ever. Is the I don't know why it's okay. Is the I had friends on that Death Star meme, the stormtrooper like this. But bro, collateral damage. Besides, they told Luke that the plausible deniability. All right.
It is nuanced.
It's not about not holding people to the fire when they do make the wrong decisions or when they are bad, but recognizing why they led to the places that they led is important. I think it's why Lucas wrote it. I'm sorry.
It's why I've kind of stopped using the word villain.
He did say Luke.
He said it. No, I think he was just flustered in the moment.
Recognizing why they led to the places that they led is important. I think it's why Lucas wrote it. I'm sorry.
It's why I've kind of
Lucas wrote it. Nah.
Okay.
This naysayer.
Sorry.
Yeah. The interview also lost credibility. Yeah, they all lost credibility for not. The interviewer specifically should have known better. She's not a noob either. I've seen her interview before.
Using the word villain because I feel like people look at a villain as like a surface level like bad person, whereas if I say antagonist, at least that implies depth, and that will.
And by the way, I have no problem with them describing a lot of the stormtroopers as like, oh, they're just patriots. They're just serving the Empire. They were in the Republic. They had a Republic military family, whatever. Not all the Empire realized they were now, obviously the ones on the super hardcore front knew what was up. But even that got explained to Boy as like, oh, these are just rebel scum. They're not human. They're just rebel scum. They're not human.
So you take out the enemy because they're the enemy.
Yeah, so you take out the enemy because they're the enemy. Now, and then you get away because that's how you get awesome characters. Like, spoiler, Han Solo worked for the Empire for a while. That's how you get Kyle Katarns, who are officers and lead entire military units, and then one go, oh, fuck, we're the baddies. And then they leave and end up becoming badass rebels. But yeah, so there's some nuance there. But like, as Ryan from RK Outpost said, these idiots aren't smart and educated enough in Star Wars to have that conversation.
We'll get some justifications for why they've done what they've done.
Yes, which is honestly, in the end, it's better for understanding and not trying to be best friends. We're not trying to take everybody in, but knowing where you have your protections and your boundaries.
I love how I'm following up that really thoughtful answer with this particular question, but I always wonder about this. Did Leslie ever tell you why his lightsaber is orange?
Oh, I mean, I did my own.
Oh, let's see if he gets it, because I'm sure Leslie stole the pre-Disney of yellow. I don't know why they went orange. It should have been yellow for Jedi Sentinel, green for Jedi Counselor, and blue for Jedi Guardian. Green, basically force powers, blue, more martial arts, and Sentinel, a balance of the two.
Own research.
Okay.
No, and they actually gave me a green one first.
And then I think in the Clone Wars, they had the Jedi Sentinels fucking yellow, but that's Filoni.
You were calling me out about this yesterday. Yeah. I was super excited to have green. I mean, just because, the connections to all of those characters. And when they were like, well, actually, we're going to switch you out and give you yellow, a tear dropped. And then I did my research and looked in. And I also realized, like, wait, Rey has a yellow one. She's pretty good. That's dope. But now I know the dynamics of duality of using the Force and being a good council member.
Yellow, I looked and saw orange, but maybe it's just because orange is my favorite color. And if I were a Jedi, I would want an orange one.
I was like, I don't even know if I saw an orange. I don't know.
I feel like you guys are talking about
gray,
the same color.
Probably.
Maybe I'm colorblind, and that's what we're really getting at.
Are we finding out now?
Yeah, I think is that shirt purple? That's right. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, this is red.
Making fun of color.
I'm actually in
They're so funny and
rainbow attire right now. You would never know. Questions about Jackie now. So one thing I was really curious about, and I don't know if this is something that you spoke to Leslie about, but what does it mean for Jackie to be half human and half Thelan? How does that influence like who she is, how she carries herself, and the choices she makes, I guess?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We did have a lot of conversations about that. I like to know the whole backstory to my character, and Leslie sort of gave me a lot of freedom in. I talked to her, but I'd come with all the ideas and she'd be like, yeah, that's good, or that doesn't work for JoJo. But we spoke about it a lot, and that I do think that does really influence you. And I think also we spoke about this a lot. How a lot of how these characters
super chat you to stop.
come
I was
to
gonna say we'll
be
start the bidding at $5.
these are children who have basically been ripped of their
I
job.
think the
This is
point
painful.
is that we wanted to see him fuck up in the beginning, which we did.
I can only imagine what this is going to be like. Well,
we got a couple more days and then it's going to be out.
I guess maybe amongst other things, this is why Nelson was like, nah, I'm out. He saw the first couple episodes, was like, nah, I'm out. Bye. I'm leaving. No more.
I'll never financially recover.
You're not going to give me my spot. You're going to fucking make everyone trans, gay, and push the agenda a billion times. I'll leave. He made $1 billion on it, though. One smart person that left. Jesus. That was painful.
Yep.
Yeah, now wait till I'm watching the actual show. I'm telling you, the Sith will be made the good guys, the Jedi will be evil. It's not possible to be racist or evil to Jedi because they have all the power type shit.
By the end of the show, they're going to make you understand why it's okay to kill a room full of children Jedi.
Oh, I'm wishing a Sith would come in and wipe me out. Yeah, not good. But they were all bad. All right. A couple more things we do. The last thing we'll do is watch that Beetlejuice trailer before we raid certain fully transitioned Leona. So apparently he's not getting a Disney Plus TV show.
Oh.
He's going to be in Captain America: Brave New World. They wanted more diversity, so Giancarlo Esposito is going to be in it, and it's going to be a villain. You want to take a guess? Should we spoil it? Because I do spoil shit. No, he's going to play Nick Fury's brother,
Kyle.
Bob. I don't know. Apparently, Nick Fury has a brother, and and I don't mean like his brother's brother.
No,
but he has a brother, and Nick
hard R.
Fury's going to play. Yeah, it's always been hard R. Please, someone who probably slang a lot of hard R's when he left or quit the set. If he did, I don't know whether he's in or not. Mahershala Ali might be out of Blade after he's reportedly in talks to new Jurassic World film. Now, this is entirely impossible that he could just be like, okay. They're redoing it one last time. It's modern day. We've had
hardly in it.
They're doing I'm in it, but they're not going to start filming. I'm going to do this Jurassic Park movie and then finally do Blade. Or he might just be like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Either way, we're now hearing that he might be out of the Blade movie. Either way, bro, come on. It's forever been his daughter is the star of the film. Female villain that now we're hearing there's a male villain that we don't know if it's in place of or in addition to. Honestly, the man is far too talented to be in the MCU. Far fucking too talented. And I mean, I say that he's already been in the MCU. He played Cottonmouth in Luke Cage,
which was so damn good.
Yeah, and honestly, just watch the Green Book. Green Book, we're talking about, it's funny, someone who rallies against DEI and ESG and all that shit, I hate when it's put into movies that don't belong, but the Green Book with him and Viggo Mortensen set in like the late 50s, 60s, when he's got to drive him through the South on tour, and like there's a bunch of racists that he has to get him through, and like there's the Green Book is literally the places that are safe for Black people to stay. Yeah. You want to know the actual progress? Go watch movies like that. Shout out to Mahershala Ali. But yeah, other than that, unless we're getting Wesley Snipes back, I don't know. All right, let's watch Beetlejuice 2. Do you have any hope for this? Jenna Ortega, Winona Ryder, and Michael Keaton?
I do. I like them all, and I don't see how. And I hate when I'm wrong, and I'll admit if I am, but I don't know how you could muck this up.
Why is this? Hold on. Just to make sure I'm doing this the right way. Yeah, what? You don't know how you can mess it up? I know how you could mess it up for sure. But I hope they don't do that. Please just be just okay. I haven't seen this, so we'll see. Okay.
Here's a preview.
Oops.
Be warned, it's intense.
Doing like an Elvira thing there.
Can't believe Grandpa's dead.
Death is hard.
Yeah, sometimes I think life is harder.
I do low-key love Beetlejuice, so I am interested.
When I was a teenager, a trickster demon terrorized our entire family and tried to force me to marry him.
As you do.
I believed he was gone forever until you found this in the attic.
Ew. Who's Beetlejuice?
Don't ever say that name.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Rick, I am serious. If you say his name 3 times, he will appear.
Beetlejuice.
Much like Graph Web, but you have to say it 4 times and dance around.
And the dance.
I'm gonna make you so happy.
The living. The dead. Can they coexist? That's what we're here to find out.
Oh,
yes.
Boy, William Dafoe.
Hell yeah. Of course, you got to go with Sam.
Beetlejuice.
Free to express yourself. Don't be afraid.
You're a figment of my imagination.
Really? Is this a figment of your imagination?
I'll give it a little hope.
I have some hope for that. I don't trust Warner Brothers at all since Velma got a season 2. Okay, well, to be fair, Velma got 1 season that was split in half, and then they're being like, now season 2. Wait, well, it was already done. But yeah, I'm sure that's what Mahler and everyone's like, remember. And so yeah, I don't know. It's Michael Keaton. That's the thing, is he looks like he's having fun. Winona Ryder, they all look good. They all look informed. Jenna Ortega, she has to have some, at least a little bit juice of like fighting back against them doing like corrupting her dialogue and all that, because she stopped him on the Wednesday stuff. So I don't know. I have at least a little bit, but yeah, I know. Enough with the fucking sequels and reboots and continuations and prequels and all the things. Yeah, I don't know. This or Axel Foley, Axel F.
This.
Yeah.
And
this one would look better to me too.
Yeah, no. I love Axel. I almost named my dog Axel Foley.
No.
It's not. I don't think it's gonna be as good. That's gonna be more member berry crap.
By the way, I still never watched Velma first, or it just no.
I think I got through an episode or 2.
Even for the car crashness of it, I did not. I did not.
Good.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to make up for it now. I maintain Az has never been the same since Batwoman and what was it, the Robin in the Hood. So
Robin.
All right. Well, John Boy, if you want to post Leon fully transitioned, and we will raid him. We will raid him good and hard and without any protection, because that's how we roll. No lube.
With his consent, though.
Maybe.
After the fact.
We'll raid him until he likes it.
After the fact, yeah.
We'll raid him until he likes it.
Well,
Rat, you got anything coming up? You got any hopes for the week ahead?
Not necessarily. Aside from just, happy all these cool people came to hang out for the night, and most of them will probably show up on your Badger casts.
Look at this. For once, he wasn't there, so I got to do it myself. There you go. Raid him up,
Thanos.
Raid him up, Willie. No, I beat you.
Nope.
Sorry.
That's it.
Leighton Gay.
With demerit.
Leighton Gay. It's all right. Now you don't get paid anyway, so appreciate it anyway. But
take the wrench away for 1 week.
The rat asking for consent? Really now? I know. What's the point?
It's the world we live in.
Grab it hard and fast. All right, outro time. outro time. I don't think he's here to enjoy it, but it's there. It's in spirit.
Dr. Leo Larry. Get out. No, we won't get out. We won't. You deserve it. I mean, get out! Get out! Is it something I said? You've ruined my life! You've ruined my career! You've ruined my book! You've turned a perfectly peaceful house into an insane asylum! Get out!
Daddy! My God, Leo, what's gotten into you?
It was a disaster, Faye!
No, it wasn't. You were wonderful,
You were
sweetie.
fine, Dad.
Yeah.
Why'd you need to kick Bob out of the house?
You think he's gone? He's not gone! That's the whole point! He's never gone! Is this some radical new therapy? You see?
Good one, my friend. All right, everyone. We will see you over there on Leon's channel. Until next time.